Hey, welcome to another tutorial of Lead Accounting Plus. Today, let's take a look at the item master. Here, items basically means goods or services that your business provide. Unlike services, goods will have to be tracked as balance in units. So goods have a closing stock, but services don't. So for us, items means both goods or services that your business provide. So the item menu is here on top where you have all the options related to items. Select the item option and you will see the list of goods or services that you have already. You can search for an item by typing the name or switch to sort to code here so that you can search the items by code. So you can also filter by categories here so that you can see the list of items that comes under a particular category only. To create a new item, click on new. So this is the first set of options that you will see, which you have to enter to create an item. Only the name and unit is mandatory. All the other options are something that you can give later as well. Here you can give the name of the item, and code is usually the barcode of a particular item. If you don't have a barcode, you can use it as a code that you use to identify the item instead of using the name. So you can assign a particular category to this item here. You can also create a new category. So categories are basically created so that you can filter the items properly. So for example, like when you see the list of items or when you take a report, if you want to take the report of a particular category only, you can do that. So you can also create categories that comes under a parent category. So basically categories help you to organize your items. Similarly, you can assign manufacturers or brands to a particular item for similar filtering and sorting purposes. So here specify whether the item is a good or service. Select the unit of measurement for this particular item, which might be a kilogram. If it's rice, you will probably use kilogram. If it's something else like a beverage or a pen or pencil, then you will use pieces or case or packets. So whatever it is, you can create new unit of measurements and then select it, or select the unit of measurements that you have already created. HSN code and SAC is mandatory for the GST purposes in India. So every good will have an HSN code and every service will have an SAC code. Now these two options can be used if you have in certain particular situations. Businesses have to maintain their items in batches. For example, in medical stores, they'll have multiple batches, each with different expiry dates. So to maintain those items in different batches, you can use maintain batches option. And serial number is used when you have to track the units in a particular units of a particular item might have different serial numbers, and if you want to track each of those serial numbers, then use maintain serial number option. So a separate video on how to use batches and serial numbers will be available separately. So check that out if these options are relevant to your business. Now select the GST percentage. So some items will have 5% GST, 18% or 12%. Whatever the GST is, then select the appropriate percentage out of the list. If it's a non-GST item, then select this option. If there is a separate GST cess or in addition to GST, then give the percentage of cess applicable to this item here. Now here in these four columns, you can give the prices. So retail price and wholesale price are the selling prices. So retail is the default prices that we have set. You can change it to wholesale price, but every item you can set two prices, retail price and wholesale price for a particular item. Then you can also specify MRP, which is for you can display MRP. So in some cases retail price and max MRP might be the same. So in these four columns you can specify the prices. So there is a column for retail price, a wholesale price, then you can specify the MRP as well. Purchase price is for just for the ease of use purposes. If you give a default purchase price here, when you enter the purchase, if you select this particular item, this purchase price will come as default. So if you want that, then you can give it. Otherwise, just leave that column. Just mention the retail price and wholesale price of the item. So then there is this sale rate is inclusive of tax option, right? So if you usually use the tax inclusive price, so basically if you communicate to your customer the prices which are tax inclusive, and that is the price that you usually use to communicate internally as well, then you can just give the price here and then select the sale rate is inclusive of tax option. If this is selected, the system will automatically calculate the before tax price. If it is otherwise, like for example, if you are saying that retail price is 100 which is before tax, then give that retail price option here and just unselect this option, so that system will calculate the GST on top of the retail price mentioned here. So once all these informations are given, just click on save and the item is created. Just go back to that item and click on edit. Now you can change all these informations if you want, but just be careful when you give the unit of measurement, because all the other information that you have just given, you can change it except for the unit of measurement. So unit of measurement once linked to a particular item cannot be changed later. So other than that, all the information is something that you can change. Now when you click on edit, you see more informations or more options on a particular item. Like for example, here on this barcode button, you can add multiple barcodes for a particular item. So this is useful for some businesses where you have multiple batches, or sometimes the same item will come in different packages with different barcodes. So basically, whenever you scan any of those barcodes, you want the system to select a particular item, so the same item. So in those cases, you can add multiple barcodes, and you can actually select the price calculation methods, which we have a separate video for that. But price calculation methods help you to calculate the retail and wholesale prices based on cost. So you can specify what percentage of amount should be added on cost to find the retail price and the wholesale price. So the system will automatically calculate once the purchase is entered, the retail price and wholesale. So because once you enter the purchase of a particular item, the system knows the cost of that item. Then the system will automatically calculate the retail and wholesale prices based on the price calculation method that you have created. And in the prices tab, you have more price options like card sale price. So card sale price will be applied when you have a customer with a customer card. So for loyalty purposes, if you have a customer card system, then sometimes the customer will come with the customer card and you want a special price to be applied for them instead of the normal retail and wholesale prices. So you can give the card sale price here. And in the options, you have more options, like if you want to allow fractional units. So sometimes some units have fractional units, like for example kilograms already have a division which is gram, and so 1.5 kilograms means 1 kilogram and 500 grams. But for some unit of measurements like numbers or pieces, it does not have fractions, right? But even in some cases, even if the unit is numbers or pieces, if you want to give the units in fractions, you can enable this option. You can specify whether this item is used in trade or production, and also if you want to add the value of this particular item in the inventory valuation for the financial statement purposes. Select this if this item attracts a reverse charge mechanism, and also specify whether the input tax credit is available for this item. So if you can specify a part number for, in some cases, in some businesses, you want to specify a part number for each of the inventory. So if you have that, you can use this option. If you have an option, if you want to have an optional unit, which is a packing unit, which you want to display on the invoices, you can have that. So this unit will appear in your sales window. So you can use that as an alternative unit. So for example, if it's 10 kilogram, you can have an alternative packing unit, which is boxes. So you give 10 kilogram of rice in 3 boxes sometimes. So you can specify the alternative unit, which is for the packing purposes. You can specify that this means 3 boxes of rice. Now you can specify the name in local language. So if you want to give the name of the item in Arabic or Tamil or Hindi, you can give that name in that local language here, which will be displayed in the invoice. And if you want to print a separate name in the barcode label, then you can specify that name here. And on the bottom, you can see we have two options, which is to give a detailed description of this particular item, and also an option to add an image for this particular item. In the reorder detail tabs, you can give the reorder informations, like at what level you want to give a reorder, and what is the reorder quantity, how much quantity you want to reorder when it reaches the reorder level, and what is the minimum quantity you want to maintain for this item, and what is the maximum quantity you want to maintain for this particular item. And in the points card tab, you can give specific discounts or point multiplier for this particular item. So usually in the point card system, you will specify the points to be multiplied or the discounts to be given for the customers with loyalty cards, right? But you can change it for a particular item. For this specific item, if you want to change the point multiplier or the discount, then you can do it here. Or if you want to exclude this item from the point system, then you can do that as well. Also here there is another option that I missed, which is to give a default discount for this item. If you want to make sure that every time this item is selected, this default discount is to be applied, then you can give this discount as default for this item. So these are all the informations that you can give for a particular item. If you want more options to be given, more data fields for a particular item, you can do this through properties, so which is applicable to for accounts and items and everything. So a separate video on properties will be available, so please check that out if that is required for your business. But other than that, these are all the informations related to item master creation. I hope that is clear, and thank you for watching this video.